All right, thank you so much. My name is Russell, and I'm here with Andrew. And I just want to give us a small introduction to one of these small exercises we have here. In the teachings of Farming God's Way, we try to demonstrate in a small way the importance of covering our soils, just the way God has done it in nature, making sure that the forest floors are completely covered with droppings of leaves. We are also bringing that to our farms. And right here, you'll notice we have two blocks, and one block, Andrew, is covered, and this block here is uncovered. Most of the soils,
Below, huh?
definitely it needs some soil below, and then we cover. And you'll notice that our coverings are across the slope. These containers are sloping at 15 degrees, and we kind of try to measure that out just to give the general slopes of the lands in Kenya. You are not advised to grow anything on a slope more than 20 degrees. All right, and so I will use this bottle here to just pour some water on top of each portion and see how much runoff and how much erosion that will create, just to give us an opportunity to see that when it rains and when the rains come down, what advantage do we have in having our soils covered as compared to having our soils uncovered. I will give each portion 4 showers of rain, and you will notice rains come from far. We have a collection point down here, and so the waters are not pouring down. If you notice carefully, you will see that the water is quickly running off from the top of the soil rather than going inside. That's our first pour.
So your simulation, if we would now go really on a field with this 15-degree angle downwards, you would see the same?
You would see the same. And according to research, it's been proven that by water erosion alone, we lose almost 30 tons of topsoil every year per acre just by water erosion. And so this is something common you will see on our fields when you have rain. And that would be the third rain. I think this will be okay for now. I wanted to give it 4, but 3 is okay. It's already showing what we need to see. It's a simple exercise just to show farmers or anyone who would like to see a small picture of what happens when you have uncovered soils and the rains come in. Now you'll notice I'm pouring it from this level, but rains come from 5,000 meters away. And so they're hitting the soil at high kinetic energy, breaking it up if it is open. Now let's do the same.
Why do you call the upper level the high value soil?
We call it high value because that's the area where the soils feed from. The first 30 centimeters, normally called the topsoil, is where you have high organic matter, humus, high biotic factor activity, and that is where your soils have the richest nutrients to be able to feed. If that one is taken out, you are left with only soil that can only support the structure of the tree rather than feed the tree, and which is very disadvantageous. Now, we will do the same for covered soils. And you will notice that it takes a long time before the water begins to flow. The kinetic energy of the water is kind of broken. It is broken by the...
Yeah, maybe the difference when we did it yesterday, when the mulch was completely dry.
completely dry.
So actually we have the second rain in 2 days.
In 2 days. And so, again, you will notice it takes a little longer for the water to flow down, and it flows down much slower, and very little trickles out. So that's the second rain, and I'm going to give it a third one.
So actually for those that are on the camera, we did the same experiment yesterday, and on the soil that was covered with the mulch, only by the beginning of the fourth rain the water was floating
flowing
down,
down.
because now the soil below is wet, it can't swallow so much as yesterday. So and this is actually the situation, 2 heavy rains in 2 days.
2 days. So we'll give it another shower. It takes time for the water to flow down. Not only is the mulch holding the water, but it is also blocking it from flowing down, and more of the soil is actually drinking the water. You'll find that the water flows down much more slower in much smaller trickles than this one. And let us see how much has been collected on one side as compared to the other. So almost twice has been collected on this side, and you'll notice the color of the water. Much more siltation and soil erosion on this one as compared to this one. Much more organic matter has been moved, the humus has been moved on this one, and you will notice the forming, the white forms, which is the nutrients of the soils, which are forming the forms, which are not necessarily a lot here.
Yeah, and if you would see the experiment the first time, here in this water you find almost no soil. And in this one, when it sinks down, you have really quite a lot of soil that gets lost.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you say we have a look what happens with the soil in itself if we uncover it.
When you uncover, you'll notice we've lost quite a lot of soil here. It's already forming gullies, but you will notice here we still have quite a lot of soil on the same level as we had begun with. And so that's what we're saying. It's so key in making sure that your soil nutrients, your soil structures, the biotic factors in the soil are kept intact for productivity in the soil.
So thank you for taking the time watching this video. You saw a very simple way by putting mulch on the top of the soil. He would say you should at least take 2.5 centimeters. When we went close to Nairobi, we saw someone using 10 centimeters. And I don't know if there is a limit. If you have 20 centimeters, if it someone or somehow gets toxic, I don't know, but 2.5 to 10 centimeters, you will have less erosion, you will need to water less your field, and you will have a great harvest. Bye.
Thank you.